Thank you for applying for the social media strategist position. Oh shit, did I get the time wrong? Was this a scam?
Hello?
Hello!
Hi, Veronica. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
There's a little bit of a like delay, but it's not. I can understand you.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you. Your name came in a pretty short list of a couple other candidates for the role we're looking for. And I think there were some really awesome standout qualities in not just on your website and even in your Instagram that were they caught my eye.
I'm
And
glad.
I was, oh, I really want to talk to Veronica. Um,
Thank
see
you.
what
I'm manifesting that this job is mine. I'm aligned.
the main goal over the next year, let's say, is to take the sense of luxury and the sense of design way up a notch
Okay.
with the brand. Right now, the brand feels like a little Martha Stewarty, like a little middle market. It's a little bit soft.
Yes. Safe.
And it's safe, yeah. And their goal in terms of where they want to be within the market is in a much different space.
Mm-hmm.
As the business gets larger, it's going to have to scale up.
Be
This is
present.
kind of the ground floor of the start of a scale. You know, right now we're kind of defining what we want the core brand and the future brand to look like. I'm really here to help push the needle, and then at the same time help to build out this little team. My background is in visual brand design. We have a graphic designer, we have a copywriter, we have a awesome luxury designer, and then we have like a marketing growth social expert. We also have kind of like a project manager who helps the flow and helps the structure of things. But right now it's a pretty nimble team. You know, this brand marketing team is going to have to be either think ahead of that to make sure that we have created content that serves their purposes, or be reactionary where we work with the stores and create some really cool content and design work for them. I do see that this role would be somebody that would be very strategic also in planning the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we want to design out summer 2026 toolkit for social, right? Let's get ahead of it and let's do some beautiful work. Like
yeah, you're already there. Yeah. Yeah.
You would collaborate with me on Viz. You would collaborate with the copywriter on writing. But I think that this role would really be the person that owns the ethos and some of the vision for some of that work. We don't really know what we want to do yet in terms of like, do we want to do a seasonal toolkit? Do we want to do twice a year? Like, what do we want our cadence to be like as to
that's important.
How we show up different in the world? To be honest, we don't have a take on that yet because we're still kind of building the house.
Which is fascinating because then that gives us room to really try different formats, create the spine, and just use different pillars on seeing what the audience likes, because they're gonna tell us what they like, and it's a good way to start. And I think that being a strategist and studying other companies and what's working for them and how to integrate it into this and knowing the purpose is just gonna, it's a blank canvas, but there's so much to do with that. Like that's actually fun.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, the reason I took this job,
Okay, I got him to open up again. It's a cool title. I'm consulting.
I always wanted to know. I always wanted to bet on myself a little bit and see what would happen if I took my skill set in house somewhere. But I knew I never wanted to go somewhere like big tech.
Yeah,
or somewhere
I get it.
a little more of a cog in a machine. So that's kind of where we're at. We're very like early on in the process.
Be present, God speak
So,
through me.
any questions off of that you might have?
Right. Well, thank you for that summary. That is why I definitely applied for this role. I saw a lot of potential in what I could offer with my strategy. So I'm hands on, and I am very much really like on creating the strategy. Now, when you had said that creating the whole studio, I think that it would be a good idea to start with what we have now and build from that, just until we figure out what like the audience likes. But my question would be like, so since we are in like the beginning stages of like creating what is, from what I hear, could be a series on building like the purpose, the objective, the internal goals, the external goals, kind of creating a cohesive um,
The
feeling,
world.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Right now we're like, I keep on telling people we're world building right now. Like
Oh, it's
we're,
even
we're
better.
yeah, yeah.
Be present, God speak through me.
Well, do you want to just walk me through a little bit of your background? I'd love to hear a little bit about your story and where you're at right now and kind of what you do.
Right. So I'm a hands-on strategist. So that's my main thing. Before I film, post, or edit, I make sure that I get down to the nitty-gritty on what is the purpose of the brand that I'm working with, the content that I produce. So I started my own channel on YouTube and Instagram around COVID, and I knew at that moment like this was gonna like content is everything, and this is how I was going to use something that I'm passionate about and also like make a living off of it. And so I taught myself how to use the industry used editing programs, Adobe, DaVinci, and then I jumped into story and learned about okay, what are the brands doing that's it's actually keeping clients and not just focused on a like, really building community, really building a cohesive feel where that first frame they know it's you, like I want that ID, that identification on this is my content. And I just dove into like kind of creating my own things. I got a pretty good following on Instagram, and then I realized how much it's important to have different pillars because I didn't just want to do one thing. I wanted to like show so many different things. So then that's when I started to jump into luxury, and I did behind the scenes for a few stylists, and I work for just freelance with companies that need their story to be told. So I'm a story driven creative. So I care more about how we are going to portray the story and how we're going to do it strategically, because attention span is short, but I want them to hear and see what the value is, but we have to be strategic. So as a creative, I'm telling my story a day, 30 minutes a day. I tell my story. I build it because story is everything. And when it comes to my content and when it comes to who I am as an artist, that is my stamp. I want to be like, oh, I can tell your story in 30 minutes if you just give me. I know how to put it together. I create different ways, different plots. I have a style on how to captivate someone. So right now that is the obsession. That is the obsession. And I when I saw the Indeed post, I was like, oh, like I could just tell by the way it was formatted that this would be the start of what a strategist does. And like I
Yeah.
saw the vision, I saw the blank canvas on so many different opportunities that could flourish from from flowers and the true meaning about them. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
Okay, that's really helpful. And you're located in Los Angeles, correct?
Yes.
If we came out with like a special release for some event or something, like you have the ability to go and shoot content if you needed to.
Yeah, so I shoot with the FX. Where is it? I shoot with the FX3, which is like one of the top of the line Sony cinema cameras, and then I also shoot on my phone. But with my professional camera, I have all the gear. I have mics, shotgun mics. I have color grade. I mean, that's what was the best thing about COVID for me was that I was able to teach myself and fail, fail, fail to where you could throw me anywhere and I will get the story because I know how to use this camera like I know how to use this pen. Like
Yeah.
I don't even think twice. Like I'm gonna get it.
Are you comfortable being in isolation to self start? Like if there
Oh,
was a week
okay.
where Veronica, like we're like under the gun over here doing something with a build out in a store. I have nothing to tell you. All I can tell you is go make some amazing storytelling
Oh
content.
yeah.
You would be okay.
For sure. So, part of ChatGPT, I have this project. I'm building this. It's called the hook strategy content. I don't have a specific title for it, but what I use that for is to help me create an outline of a story that I can put together. So, say for example, hey, we could create a story out of anything. So on those days, I will find the story and I will put it together. I think that like it's those are actually days that I really like doing, because then that gives that it's more of an open, clear canvas, because I have by that time already have gotten to know some of the studios, gotten to know the flowers, feel the texture, get more into the backstory, being hands on, talking to the people that work there, interacting with guests. There's so many different things that I could just naturally find to do, because I'm very much good with coming up with ideas, and like I could just sit at one of the stores and then just observe people coming in and find a story. I could go up to someone and say, "Hey, why are you buying these flowers? Like what can do you want to share this story with us as a testimonial?" Or I could do it as an editorial video, or someone comes in and I could tell that they don't know what to do. And that's a very honest thing. It's like you're very scared to ask for help, and that's where you come in, and being able to kind of be that bridge for someone that doesn't know how to buy flowers. I don't know how to buy flowers, by the way. So it would be kind of being able to find pain points in just the industry, and being able to convey them in a visual form, and just being able to just keep the ball rolling, because I need the momentum, and I keep it going.
Got it. It's super helpful to know. Super helpful to hear. Um, when you're in creation mode, I'm curious. Um, other things, and this can be anything, but are there things that you feel more comfortable owning? Like if you're part of a creative team, are there areas and moments within your creative process that you want to own outright? Like this is your lane. You can ask for help anytime you want, but like the expectation is that you're gonna run directly down this lane, and this is stuff that Veronica's gonna own. I'm curious, what would you want to own, and what were things that you'd like want to find alignment on with the rest of the team, with the rest of the creative team?
Yes, that question automatically would be the behind the scenes and editorial videos. So that is like my specialty when it comes to creating content, is to create a very raw, connecting to that person without being so polished and scripted. And I think
Got it.
that people, especially with content and AI, people want that real authenticity. And that's how I was able to build my channels, was because I didn't talk to the camera as a script.
Yeah.
I invited you into the world. So what
Yeah.
I would want to take full direction or directive in would be that part, because that is where I shine, and that's where I could open and ask these questions that will have that person sincerely express this intangible feeling that will be conveyed in video. So that's where I would definitely like full control. But I'm open.
Okay, no, that's good to know because I mean, I think short term, like honestly, I think it's important that this role is whoever comes in does have a sense of control and autonomy in what they do. Like I think everybody on the team needs to feel like they're the owner of their own domain in a way because mm, nobody can wait on anybody else. We kind of have to get going if that makes sense. Um, cool. I know this was booked for an hour, but I actually was told only a half hour, so we can go a couple minutes over if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. I'm just curious. I want to make sure that we save a little bit of room. Like this was just kind of an initial chat.
Okay.
Um, the the intent is to like this hire we kind of want to make quickly.
Yeah.
I mean quickly as in weeks, not months. And the kind of the goal, or just to give you an idea, is I would want your next conversation to be had with a couple of the members of the team. So probably the growth marketing person and maybe like luxury designer. Maybe they jump in and talk to you without me to see how things go as well. And then from there might be one more conversation just to make things concrete. And that's about the speed at which we're looking at. So probably about two more calls, I would say, as long as things are going forward. And yeah, just to set your expectations in terms of timeline, in terms of what else needs to happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. Um, Sweet. Anything else? I'm really excited to bring your your perspective to the team, like tell them about this interview, tell them about what I heard about, because I do think you come from a slightly different angle than some of the other candidates we've been talking to. I think your adaptability and your ability to actually work a camera is actually really important to us. Doesn't mean that you always have to be working the camera. We can partner with people. You can lead more of a strategic role. But just knowing that that capability lives in you,
Yes.
and you have the eye is really critical. Like, it's really, really critical. So,
Thank you.
yeah, for sure.
It's good to hear.
Yeah. You should be proud of that, because I was thinking when I came in that you were going to be a little bit more on the, maybe a little bit more production heavy rather than strategically driven. And to hear that you balance that out is really great. Like, it's,
What he says next threw me the fuck off. What do you think?
regardless if this works out or not, like, it's exactly how you should show up, because then as a hirer, I go, wow, like, Veronica, crush it.
Of course, the camera dies mid interview, but essentially that is how an interview would go for a social media strategist position. This one was actually one of my favorite ones, and I feel really aligned with this company because it wasn't so much of a like interview where I'm asking all these questions. It was more of a conversation to get to know who I am as an artist and who you are and what it is that you're looking for. So I'm manifesting that this job is mine. I'm aligned. I feel it. And if you are, at a place in your artistry, creative, just life where you're just, you keep trying and trying and you don't know where it's taking you, right? And this is like my 5th year of where I have just been focused on building my craft, building who it is as an artist and as a creator, and I just keep showing up, and that's the whole thing. You get what I mean? It's like you just want to keep going, especially when you don't know if it's going to lead somewhere, because it's about the small steps that you take and they all turn into a bigger step. You build this confidence, you build your self-esteem that this is your purpose. And with this interview, it was more of an alignment of me being on the right path, because when you could have a conversation and have full confidence in what it is that you can offer and who you are, and not feel like you're trying to say what they want to hear, that's when you know that you have built that confidence with the repetition, with showing up, and with being there for yourself, because you believe in the dream, and your dream is to be a strategist for a brand. And if you're and that's just where, if that's where you are, where you just know that being a brand strategist is your cup of tea, right? And that is ultimately being a filmmaker, a editor, a producer, and just, and also storyteller. So that's what a strategist is to me, is to be able to it's to be able to take over all the roles and put it in a strategic way so that the people, your audience, could want to know more about you, right? Want to know more about the brand. It's all goes back to Robert Greene and the art of seduction, and being able to influence and seduce the world to want to be part of your world. Now, seduction does have like a bad connotation, but it's not. It really isn't, because talking to someone, telling a story, is an art of seduction. It's being able to you tell a story to so that they can connect with you, so that they can like you and or believe in what side you are on. So it's just being able to do that and getting paid to do it. So I will keep you posted. He said in a couple weeks, and now I'm going to jump on other projects and just keep going. Like, it's gonna happen. We just have to believe it. So let's go. Pew pew. Let's read the email together. Thank you for applying for the social media strategist position. We appreciate the time and your efforts into the application process. After careful consideration, we have decided to move forward with another candidate. We will keep your resume on file for future opportunities that may be a better fit. Thank you for your interest in the French florist. Wish you all the best in your job search and future endeavors. I'm surprised. But I always am, because I feel like I'm really good at interviewing. Growing up, I always got the job. But for this type of role, which is a brand strategist, social media, it's been a lot harder, or it's just a new lane, right? But ultimately, reflecting back on the interview, I kind of maybe came off arrogant by saying that, like, I brought up COVID and how COVID was the best thing for me because I was able to dive into building my craft and teaching myself editing and how to use cameras and stuff. I mean, again, if that can't, like, that's where I go. And but thinking about it, I was like, that can't be a reason why someone didn't choose you for the position, because that story shows I made a terrible plague, and I turned what was a terrible time in history into a time to work on something that was going to improve my long-term skill set, right? So it shows self-determination and motivation and all these things. So that can't be a bad thing, now that I'm saying that out loud. And also, there was one time in the interview, if you watched it, is he like, even if you don't get this position, you do have a lot of good qualities. So now looking back, he probably already knew that they were looking for something a little bit slightly different. And maybe in my about me, I didn't sell myself as much. I could have been, maybe, I don't know. But ultimately, there is that feeling in your stomach where you want to know what was that deciding factor. And I've sent emails in the past asking for feedback and haven't ever received a response. I still sent one regardless if I get one or not. But I think if you're an employer, it is nice to give feedback to the interviewee, just so that they could work on it and know. Because the worst thing for me is silence, right? And not really knowing why. But ultimately, like, I know my God is with me, and there is a lot of mixed feelings. But ultimately, the job, our role as entrepreneurs and creators is to be able to take rejection and keep going. Rejection is feedback, whether they provide it physically. I could reflect on how I was still chosen to have an interview with this great company, and I was still chosen aside from 100 applicants that they had, and I did the best that I could, and I'm gonna go with that. So let's keep going. Pew pew.